Sabaidi, Sawati. Hopefully you can't see the cigarette in my handy, which is not very respectable. I'm sorry. I'm at a cafe Amazon. Ordinarily, I give these places a wide berth because they're corporate, you know. They're not really supporting the locals in as much as, well, they are in as much as they employ the local people. So in that sense, obviously they're good. But anyway, wish me luck, folks, because I'm at the border. I'm now going to sit down and work out exactly how much of a fine I'm going to get for the motorbike, because it's late going back to Thailand. A week, I think. Well, it's got to be a week, because they gave me 14 days on arrival for the motorbike. Give me 30, like they do anyone coming in. You get a 30-day visa on arrival. Oops, don't be. Hopefully they give you another one for free. You just trust this copy. So yeah, hopefully with a bit of luck, they'll take pity on me. But the rules are the rules at the end of the day, and obviously for each day that you're over for taking the motorbike back, there's a 150,000 kip fine, which is about $4 or $5, I think, something like that. So it's not going to be a huge fine, and obviously I have kind of had to budget for that. Obviously they'll see the damaged wheel and the replacement wheel. But obviously that's not going to, you know, change the rules. The rules are the rules. I wasn't able to get the motorbike back on time. So obviously there's that to contend with. The issue with the actual motorbike itself, which I don't think is much of an issue. You know, just pay the fine, basically. I think it's going to be the case with that. I'm on time for my visa. So I actually thought it was tomorrow. I thought my visa expired tomorrow, but luckily I checked today. Thankfully, I checked today, and I was Paksay is only about an hour or so from the border, which is where I am. The actual border itself, is just, you know, the sun's going to go on the screen, so I do apologise. It'll probably wash out, but the actual border is just there. So what, 100 meters away or so. So yeah, that's the border with Thailand and Laos, and this is the only one you can, well, I say that's a lie, I don't know for sure, but it's the only one I know that's safe enough to, there is other borders that you can cross over from Chiang Rai into Laos, but you'll be in the north of Laos then. Well, obviously you'll be in the north of Thailand too, but it's a much more mountainous area. Which isn't so bad when you're travelling Chiang Rai, because the roads in Thailand are fairly good condition. Oh, they're very good condition. Just have to be obviously, you know, careful. But once you cross over into Laos, and you're then having to contend with mountainous roads. Luckily, it's been dry where I've been for many days, like at least over a week. But you try and travel those routes, after it's been raining, it's treacherous. So I wouldn't advise trying to come from Thailand into Laos that way. Although, that part of Laos and obviously Thailand too are very beautiful. And a lot of people will tell you, you have to go to Vang Vieng, Lang Labang, which is why I did it. Stupidly, when I did it during the rainy season. It must have been insane. I planned the trip, the routes and this, that and the other, to, take in the scenery, which was kind of unavoidable to some extent. I don't think there was a non-mountainous way to get to the border, or maybe there was, and I didn't do enough research to find out a better route, because I was going up and down mountains, up on the mountain ridges, and then down again, and then up again, and yeah, that's why I was a day late the last time I brought my motorbike to Laos. My nerves had just got the better of me. It was a nervous wreck. I just couldn't do any more. If you want to see some of that trip, you'll have to look back about 4 or 5 months on my videos, around that sort of mark. But I wasn't really that bothered about doing too much filming. It would have made great content, yeah, seeing me fall off the motorbike like 10 times in one day, and the Laos people helping me pick it back up and push me up the hills to get me going. It would have made fabulous content, but I was just in survival mode at that point. So I'll be honest with you, filming was just not something that I was too worried about. I just wanted to get to the border alive, you know. So yeah, I didn't do much recording in those, and that's the other thing. Google Maps was from where was it? Vang Vieng? Yeah, I think so. From I didn't even have time to really stay in Vang Vieng, so you know, it'd be nice to go back there again. And actually spent Lang Laban. Yep, had a lovely time there. I was there for about 4 or 5 days. Hot air balloon, you know, the blue lagoons and all that kind of stuff. But that's Lang Laban. Vang Vieng, I kind of, you know, did the old Google Maps. How long is it going to take? This, that, and the other. And it was like 5-6 hours. So like, you know, a steady day trip kind of thing. And it took me a lot longer, and by the time I got there it was like, right, well, I then looked at how long it was from there to the border, and it was saying like 12 hours, so that's I mean, it's either, you know, a hard day's drive, you know, 12 hours, so I kind of just bypassed Vang Vieng, and went heading straight up into the mountains, and yeah, had a hell of a time. Because a lot of the roads, when they lead, because it was rainy season, so any of the roads that were alongside the road itself, and the river obviously at rate, you know, come up so high, you know, it breached the embankments, and basically a lot of the roads were just full of water, you know. I mean, like, in parts it was like literally up to your knees, so yeah, I was absolutely covered, caked in mud. I was, from head to toe, and I think they kind of took pity on me when I got to the border and I was looking in such a state. But you know, don't do that sort of trip in the rainy season. It's insane. I really, well, I felt like Superman once I got into Thailand, because it was a case of, if I can survive that, which is probably some of the most dangerous driving that you can ever do in the world, and I managed to survive it. I mean, there was at one point I was lucky that I basically ditched the bike. I purposely dropped it because I was coming down a bit of an embankment, you know, I was coming down a bit of a hill, and basically the locked up, so I was getting no traction because it was just mud and water, and I was heading basically to the ridge of the mountain, and there's no barriers or anything, there's nothing. The only thing stopping you is whatever vegetation, you know, whatever trees or whatever shrubbery or whatever you want to call it. You know, that's and that's just natural barriers. That is, you know, that's not designed to keep you on the road. So yeah, I was heading towards going over the cliff. So I just dropped the bike. I just purposely, you know, made it fall on the floor, and it did kind of go over a little bit, but luckily only like, and there was a lot of weight on the back, so like, say the front end of the bike, you know, did go over the edge, but luckily with so much weight on the back of the bike, it didn't go all the way over. But trying to then pick the motorbike up, it was fine-ish, although it kind of wrecked my back completely, which is why I had to stop it. You know, I couldn't manage anymore, and I had to just basically camp for the night in a tent. One, because my back was killing so much from having dropped the motorbike so many times, but luckily the Laos people are so kind, and whenever they saw that happen, they came to help me pick it back up. So anyway, wish me luck crossing the border today, folks. Like I say, there's going to be a big fine, and also I'm not sure if Thailand will let me back in because of the change in the rules. On the day I left, they changed the visa rules, so I don't know what's going to happen today, so wish me luck.